Good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, and welcome to Street Tacos and Mesopotamia. That's what we're calling it. We are talking about cuneiform, proto-cuneiform, and what sort of led to this very archaic and old writing system. At the beginning of the story starts with barley juice. Wink, wink. Now, people loved this stuff. So much, in fact, that that's probably part of the reason they started the whole agricultural revolution. The water back then wasn't super great to drink. It was no tap water, I'll tell you what. It had, like, diseases and, like, probably caused gout or something. Anyways, so they had to make beer in order as a liquid that they could drink. Now, the old-timey beer that, like, the peasants and even, like, the Mesopotamians drank is way different than the stuff that we drink. But that's sort of where this story starts. Because we're starting with Cushman. Is this good?
Looks like this is...
Great intro, Sean. I'm past Sean. Maybe present Sean, depending on what you're doing. Anyways, like I said, we're talking about Mesopotamia and tacos. So, we're making some street tacos today, and to be completely forward, I've never actually made these whatsoever. But luckily, it's just a set of ingredients that mix together, which seems doable. So, I went to Whole Foods and grabbed some Daring gluten-free organic plant chicken pieces. Yum. Never cooked these, never tried them. They smell like what I presume a chicken smells like, but plant-based. Anyways, so what we're gonna open with a pepper of some variety. You know me, and I love my peppers. And I got the pan broiling. In the grill, we have a sweet potato cooking in the corner. We're gonna let that kind of cook for a second. And we're gonna start with these peppers. We're gonna saute them a little bit, and then we're gonna add our chicken, and then we're gonna move from there. So let's open up. Whoa, sizzling. These are cooking expediently. They might actually get fried, which is okay. Maybe. Oh yeah, they're cooking. So we're gonna quickly add the chicken to this. Ooh. Just chuck it in like that. It looks a bit foul, but that's kind of all fake meat. It all kind of has this weird look to it. I mean, like, look at what? This is not a chicken. This is not a creature of God's earth. I don't know what that is. So we're gonna let this cook. Wow. Peppers. Looking tasty. So, Cushman was a keeper of malt and barley, which are key ingredients in, you guessed it, beer. Now, we at least are pretty sure his name is Cushman. We have like a symbol, and we think we know how it's pronounced. Obviously, I didn't dig this plate up, or am I an anthropologist of any measure? Anyways, but we're pretty sure this guy named Cushman existed. More importantly, this other person, who was the official who also signed up on this particular document, also existed, Nisa. So, we have Cushman and Nisa. Now, Cushman is reporting, it looks like grain accounts. You have all these circles and half circles and all this stuff. This is pretty much telling you how much malt and barley there was. Now, on this tablet, the reason I chose this one in particular, it's kind of funny, there seems to be an arithmetic error. The front side does not equal the back side of the tablet. We have about 18 tablets from Cushman in particular, which is kind of crazy. It probably means his house burned down, because all these tablets and stuff, the only reason they were reusable, and the only reason we have them are ones that were sort of lost and like actually cooked. They usually weren't cooked. Anyways, hopefully Cushman's house didn't burn down. But not only is he the earliest name of any living person we have, But he also is probably the first person to make a mathematical error. This chicken looks something. Ooh, it's actually kind of browning. Should we taste it? I'm kind of afraid. See what it tastes like. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's been over a decade. I have no idea what chicken is supposed to taste like, but this tastes good. It is actually pretty good. It doesn't even be kind of flipped. What we're going to do, we're going to actually put this in the grill. Ooh. And then turn this flame up. Sort of let that cook. As we're going to get our pot on. And our beans in the pot. We have these beans, black beans. They are drained and rinsed. And really we're not doing anything more than kind of warming them up. And add the cilantro eventually and some spices. No cilantro. Cilantro is not going in these beans. I don't know what's going in these beans. Something. Thank you. Thank you, camera. You're very helpful always. I don't know what I'm doing. We'll add a little bit. We'll add a little bit right now and then season to taste later. But, ooh, spicy, I guess. But it's always good to kind of pre-season. We don't want it too spicy. And give it a mix. And kind of let that get kind of hot. And we're going to jump back in a second when everything's cooked a little bit more. Heck yeah. Now, I haven't really talked exactly about this. And you keep getting distracted by street tacos. So, let's take a step back. This is proto-cuneiform. Cuneiform is a writing system that develops a little bit later. This is sort of early what that will become. And again, so we have this Cushman character, and we have a nod adding some. And so is this an early example of tax fraud? Or maybe he just made a mistake. Or maybe he was just accounting for known losses that happens when you're transporting a lot of barley. Each one of these little bowls is about 4.2 liters, we can assume. And there was like 58 something bowls in total that were being calculated. And so that's a lot of liters of barley. And this leads us into the next part of our story. So, we're going to quickly pull off the chicken. Ooh, didn't really cook anymore. Probably not enough heat exhaust. We're going to cook the chicken on the grill for the remainder of its life, which will not be long. I'm just snacking. Just snacking. Okay. Wow. Those tacos are making me hungry. Maybe just like Cushman was at one point. Oh! The next part is, oh gosh, cuneiform in its entirety. So, proto-cuneiform, again, you have this writing system on tablets to keep it kind of arithmetic and whatnot. Cuneiform develops as a series of cuna, meaning wedge in Latin. It's literally that. It is using a clay tablet, not pink Play-Doh, and a reed, not a stick, I found. And you are making wedges. Or other wedges. So, it was, though, a mathematical system. And this they used for 3,000 years on like these reusable clay tablets. And it's not only like the longest lived system of writing, as it contained multiple languages. It wasn't really just one language. But it's also the oldest that like we have evidence of. And so, all of this said, let's talk about how to actually write in cuneiform. So, it's a sexagesimal system, which means it's base 60. We'll get to that. So, in cuneiform, you're going to write 1, just like I was on my wonderful thing. You're going to put in 1 little wedge. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is, boom, just like that. One of these side wedges. And then 20, 30, 40, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 60 is just that. It's right there. Again, it is a positional system. So this is 60. If we want to say 70, we have our 60. Add a 10. 80. Add a 10. 90. Add a 10. 100. Add a 10. Impeccable. Okay. We next have this potato. Don't mind me, you're coming with me. We have this potato. We have this potato to get cooking. And it was cooking, but the grill seems to be really low. And so, yep, it is completely uncooked, which is awesome. So we're just going to shave off any of the gross parts. And I'll come back when we start chopping it. And then we're going to get these all in the pan. Start freaking cooking it up. These look good. Okay. And we're going to move this into the grill, which is somewhat hot. Probably not hot enough. This chicken is actually... Is it even cooking in here? I clearly don't know how grills work. Could have fooled me. And put it back on here. And we're going to pump the heat on that. And we're going to come back when that stuff is cooked. Let's go! Sexagesimal system. Very interesting. To add and multiply, they would cube it and stuff as 60s. It's a really easy number to multiply by 4 and whatnot. And we kind of see the remnants of this in our everyday. How many seconds are to a minute? How many degrees are to a circle? All sorts of these things are still kind of prevalent that come from this very ancient writing system. Anyways, I'm going to let Past Sean take it over and finish out those tacos. They are looking scrumptious. You have a good day. Bye-bye. The food's cooked up quite a bit. These potatoes almost done. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into our grill, which totally has been entirely normal this entire time, and I have not had to fix whatsoever. And we're going to make sure that's closed and be very gentle with it. Oh, open our steaming hot potatoes. Get our beans out. Everything's steaming. Let's try these potatoes real quick. They look good. We're going to try a bigger one. Whoa. Yeah. That's cooked. We're going to add our beans into the mix. And then we're going to season with, they're already seasoned, but paprika, cumin, and if you like the spice, some red crushed pepper flakes, and obviously salt, the doy. We got some street taco sauce to put on the tacos when they're done. What should be soon. So I'm going to let this cook for a second. I'm going to pull everything off, and I'm going to see you again when we're plating. That looks like it's finished. I think we go in and see how these bad boys look on a plate. And we put some sweet potatoes in the beans. Maybe a few more beans. I'm going to get my chicken on this thing. 3 pieces because I'm crazy. Some onions. Some cilantro. I'll skip on the sauce for now. Street taco. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned about Mesopotamia. All right.